I have been, I don't know, I can't even remember all the club officer roles that I've done over the years. I've been in Toastmasters for 8.5 years, and I love it. This is actually, though, my first time being vice president of membership of a club, and I actually chose to do that. I was excited to do that, and I hope that today's session will be very helpful for you, because I have found all kinds of things to help you out. All right, so first of all, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about member goals, and then the VPM role, and the responsibilities, and finally, resources that you can use. So first of all, the objectives of this session. Once we have finished with this session, you should be able to identify your role, fulfill your responsibilities, and find any resources that actually help you. So to start off, I want you to think about what brings people to Toastmasters. You can just go ahead and unmute yourself and answer. What do you think brings people to Toastmasters?
I would say, can I speak? Yeah.
Please.
I'd say friends bring us to Toastmasters, or known acquaintances. I mean, because I would, if I were to see an advertisement, I would not walk into a club unless I'm confident. So I need a lead inside the club, someone who spreads the word through the mouth.
Okay.
To be very honest.
Great. How about somebody else? What else brings people to Toastmasters?
Adding to what Mr. Gino has told, it's basically the friends that leads us Toastmasters. Again, the leaderships and the ability of our friends, which leads us more to Toastmasters. So how they are acquire Toastmasters.
Okay. What else? Somebody else.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay. So I think people who leave their education in the middle, and later on they find, like, if I want to go in the right direction, proper education, or proper leadership, or proper communication skills, so where should I go while I'm still working? So for that, we have this platform where you can come and work, as well as you can get your own whatever you want to achieve in your life, like speaking skills, leadership skills, time management, or made with the good educated people. So this is what I think, like, Toastmaster bring us here.
Exactly. Yeah, great. So I mean, you talked a little bit now about their goals. What do you think are some goals that people have who start off in Toastmasters? Think about your own goals. What was your goal when you first joined? What was your
Okay.
What were you striving for?
DTM Sandy, can I? Yes.
Yes, please.
For me, I have shared that even in the morning. For me, it was practicing the language itself, because this is a great platform to do that. You have to meet people, taking roles, speak, even the table topics, it's perfect for that. So yes, this was the main goal for me. Then I discovered later that there are other skills that I can improve, but that was my main goal at the beginning.
Yeah, my main goal when I first joined was a social group. It was right after my divorce, and I was looking for a new group of people who were positive and, looking to improve themselves. What about other people? What do you think are some other goals that Toastmasters have?
I think I would agree with what DTM Fatma said. I mean, that is one, to shake off the fear and for me, in my case, was to take that monkey off my back. I always knew that I was good, but until and unless you get a forum or get a podium to talk, you're not confident. So I wanted to shake off the fear and get that monkey off the back. And once it went off, there is no stopping. So that was a mix of my goal and general.
Exactly. Great. Okay, so let's look at the information that Toastmasters International has given us about the overall reasons or the overall goals why people join Toastmasters. And you can see that the largest percentage of people are, it's about 31% want to build confidence for public speaking. That is the biggest thing. Number one fear in the world, fear of public speaking. And after that, they want to become a more effective speaker. Then they want to improve their presentation skills. And fourth is to improve leadership skills. And perhaps we are, Fatma, and we're kind of in the smaller range where we're looking at networking and socializing and increasing fluency. These kinds of things are, only a few people, but maybe there are more who are looking for increasing their fluency who are overseas and not in an English-speaking country than they are perhaps in an English-speaking country. So keep these in mind, what overall people join Toastmasters for, because as VPMs, we need to be focused on their goals, right? How can we help our current members see the realization of their goals? That's how we're going to maintain our members, right? Those who are already with us. And when we are looking at bringing in guests and making them into Toastmasters, bringing them from a guest to a Toastmaster member, then we're also looking at their goals and letting them know that Toastmasters has it has a situation, it has the curriculum, it has the structure to develop all of these goals. All right, so with the VPM role, what would you say is the essence of, or the real reason for the vice president membership's role? What is it for? Why are we here? Who can tell me?
To understand our role.
No,
I'll
not
do better.
here in the training, but why do we have vice president memberships in a club? Why are they important? Why does a club need a vice president membership?
Well, I guess, or I think because convincing people to join a certain environment or a certain organization is not an easy task. So it's better to find someone to be specialized or focusing on that area, to make the full focus for that. Then get the support from the other people around this person. But better to have someone to focus on that area itself. And follow up with them, with the guests, all of these things.
Anybody else?
Yeah, the officer, one of the 7 officers who is in charge of membership and whose responsibility, like DTM Fatma said, to keep track of the guests, to invite guests, whose sole job is this, because until unless you have members growth, I mean, the club, the club falls back. So a dedicated officer who actually keeps tracks of the members, existing members, to see if they have renewed or what you call, and motivates them, and also in charge of the new members.
Okay, what else? That's all we do? Anything else? All right, so you were right. First of all, we need to make sure that our club maintains a level of membership that allows us to have high quality meetings. Does anybody know what that number is? What does Toastmasters International say is the minimum number of members in a club that will allow you to have quality meetings?
12 member.
Nope,
Yeah, I think 8.
20, I think.
20.
20,
8
right?
is the minimum required for keeping your club in good standing. Okay? So that if you're going into contests and you are going to have people competing from your club must have a minimum of 8 members. Okay? But 8 members is not going to give you quality meetings. Think about the number of meeting roles that are needed in every meeting. And you want to rotate that, right? You don't want to exhaust your members that they're doing this, 1 or 2 or 3 roles every single meeting. So in order to maintain a high quality club, the minimum you should have is 20. That's why they say the base should be 20, all right, or plus 5. Okay, so 20 is your primary number that you want to have. Anything over 20 is fabulous. The other one is to know the goals of your members and to help them to achieve their goals. It's not only the Vice President of Education who is focused on the goals of our members. As the VP membership, you also need to know what goals your members are interested in, because if our members don't reach their goals and they're not able to work towards their goals, do you think we're going to keep them in the club as a member? Probably not, right? So we want to make sure that we can help them in that. All right, so let's look at the responsibilities. Keep in mind that leadership is about taking responsibility, not making excuses. If we have problems doing something in our role, we want to reach out and just say, that's what the whole XCOM is about. And that's what Toastmasters is there for, right? To give us an environment where we are supported. It's not a competition. And so we can tell people, I don't really know how to do this. And people will step in, or maybe something has come up, right? And you can't do something on that particular occasion. That's why we have more than one person in the XCOM, right? We're there to back each other up. So what do you think are your responsibilities as the Vice President of Membership? Who can name one? How about somebody I haven't heard from? Noor, what about you? What do you think you need to do as Vice President of Membership? There's
Maybe
no wrong
follow up.
answer.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
follow up with the members and the guests.
Okay, good. Following up with members and guests. What else? Anybody else? Thank you, Noor. Who else didn't I hear from? Milt, I haven't heard from you. You're muted. You're muted, my dear. You have to take yourself off of mute. Yes, Mayor, while we're waiting for Milt.
Creating an agenda for every meeting.
Nope, the VP membership does not create the agenda. This is the responsibility of the VP Education and the VP PR. Milt, what about you? What do you think?
Well, membership is a very key role. We have been very successful in the past with attracting a lot of new members. And it also has to play into keeping new members active. And
Exactly.
so we need to ask them lots of questions. What are their goals? What are their interests? What do they do? Just how can we be part of their life and
Yes.
create a better person?
I completely agree. Okay, so we need to recruit new members. We need to conduct membership contests as well. What are those membership contests? Does anybody know what they are?
Smedley Award.
Smedley, good, that's one of them. What's another? Beat the clock. Okay, I'm going to talk about these in just a little bit.
On these new, I mean, because I saw a flyer yesterday. You renew 10% of the members before this date, and then you get this, and 20%. Isn't this concept new? We didn't have these things before, right?
Now, this is something that our district is doing to encourage people to encouraging membership. All right.
Okay, but this also gives an indication that, you know, it's people are struggling, you know. I mean, this also gives a wrong notion. We had a discussion in our XCOM yesterday. I mean, flyers like this gives you an idea, like, you know, okay, there is so much struggle going on, which could even, you know, work the other way.
Well, there is struggle everywhere in the world. Since Corona in particular, there has been struggle everywhere in the world. I think there is a definite recognition of that. And as a VPM, I have to understand that, right? Because we are currently either online or we are hybrid right now. Almost every single club. There may be a few clubs that are actually managing to meet in person, but most of them are all online now. And there are people that just don't like that, right?
No, and not just that, but what I was saying is my club could jump. I mean, I could jump and go ahead and renew before date without even understanding the members. Like, you know, the whole idea of Toastmasters is to support the members, to understand their needs. There could be a case where a person drops out for a certain period for genuine reason, so be it. But my club could go and renew the 8 or the 10 or the 20 just because I want to win the award. So, you know, the idea behind club growth should not be just for medals or rewards, but for the growth of members. That should be the root cause. Like, if you can
Agreed.
hold me, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes, yeah, I completely agree, and I understand. However, you also, just like anything else, where you want to encourage people to do something, this is an incentive, okay? Whether or not you get a medal, you know, it's up to you. And there are clubs that really care about that, and they're doing a great job with their membership. It doesn't have to be exclusive, you know, like if you're going to focus on that, then you don't focus on the member. It doesn't have to be. If you are doing your job right, you can do both. So let's go back here. So we have our job also assists guests. We want to help them in understanding what Toastmasters is, how they can sign up, and help them with the membership process, right? So hopefully we can get our guests to become members and help them through that application process. Okay, so when we are in the club meeting, we're going to talk about 3 different areas. When we're in the club meeting, when we're outside the club meeting, and when we're in the executive committee meeting. Okay. Moving on. So in the club meeting, before the club meeting, you need to, let me go back. Before the club meetings, tell me, what do you think you're going to need to do?
Sandy?
Yes.
Okay, one of the things is just to have your material ready, preferably a sign-in book of some sort to capture the person's name and email address, phone number.
Yep.
And
exactly.
to have an information packet that you can give them.
Since we're online, I have created an Excel sheet for that information. And I have created a Google Doc with the links of information for them so that I can just, instead of sending them a guest packet because I'm not physically in a meeting with them, I can send them the links for Toastmasters International, where they have information about what is Toastmasters. Okay, good. We also should, before we go to the meeting, we should also, I forgot what I had there. We should also find out and contact our members who didn't show up at the last meeting. One of the things that is really important in maintaining members is letting them know that we care about them, right? If people, our members, feel like they've been absent several times and nobody's even contacted them, they may think, why should I continue? Nobody even notices that I'm gone, right? But if you are contacting them and asking, are you okay? We missed you at our meeting. Is there something you need? You know, especially during these times with Corona going around, God forbid one of them is sick or needs help. That is, I mean, that is a big part of the VP membership's job, is to making sure that we keep that connection established. All right, so now, while we are at the meeting, what do we need to do?
Actively
Greet
keep an eye.
everyone.
Greet everybody. Yes? Who else was talking?
Yeah, I said keep an eye on the participants to see if there are any guests.
Exactly. Find out if there are guests and introduce yourself. Say, hi, I'm the Vice President of Membership for this club. I'm so glad you could join us. Could you please share your, contact information with me? Okay. You can have them send it to you privately in the, in the Zoom chat. So maybe some people don't want to share their information with the whole group. They don't know them. Or you can just, if they're not willing to share, you can give them your contact information so that, excuse me, so that they can contact you. All right. What else? What else do we do while we're there? So we notice the guests, we talk to them, and we also kind of look around for members who are not there, right? Who's missing? This is a job where the secretary and the vice president membership can work together to make sure that this is done properly. And as we are getting that information, making sure that our guests are feeling very, very welcome. And again, that's not just the job of the VPM. It is also the job of the president and all of the other XCOM and members of the club. All right, now, make an Excel sheet for members. You go to the Toastmasters International Club Central. How many of you have actually gone to Club Central and logged in as your vice president of membership? Okay, you should be able to see the club roster. And you can see it in a PDF type form, or you can say export to Excel. I find this the most beneficial. When you have that Excel sheet, then what I do is I add on to that Excel sheet. You can keep track of all of the members in the club. If there are new members, you're going to add them as you go along, and make sure that you have written down for new members, did they have an orientation? Have they been inducted? And what dates you did those things, so that you can remember and keep track, because there may be new members who joined and for some reason they missed the induction or they missed the orientation program, okay? And you want to make sure to be able to follow up with them. Now with Zoom, it's fabulous. You can send them the recording of their orientation. But for the induction, of course, they need to actually be there. And you can also find out and track members who are not attending regularly, and maybe spend some extra time following up with them. What is going on with these people? Is something keeping them away? Do they have problems? Maybe there's something we can do to help. Keep a separate Excel sheet for prospective Toastmasters, right? These are the guests. So you've got all your guests, or if you have an open house, who attended, and then you can track. Have you contacted them? How did you contact them? Via email, via WhatsApp, whatever it is, okay? What was their response? Have they attended a meeting? Did they come to another meeting? Have you sent them a membership application? You know, it's easier if you have it all in one place so that you can keep track. I don't know about you, but for myself, I can't remember all of those things. I forget. It's like, wait a minute, did I contact this person or I contacted that person? And particularly with WhatsApp, it's hard to double check and go back and keep track. But if you write it into your Excel sheet as you are doing it, it makes it super, super easy. And then has that person completed their application form? Did you receive it? Then again, I have another column for, did I enter the information for that member into Toastmasters International website? And then did they finally pay? Okay. And again, did they go through the orientation program? Did they get inducted? These things are very important. You also want to send your guests an information link. I have created a link with all of the information that's there for guests that we used to hand out in a physical packet, a guest packet that we used to do. It's so nice though, if you are in person and you're able to, you can have little gifts that are in the guest packet. We used to, well, we had troubles getting things from Toastmasters International shipments. So we would go out and buy like a big thing of pens and just spend a couple of dinars to have Active Minds Toastmasters written on one side, and on the back side we'd have our website or a contact, and we would hand those out with our guest packet. Also, you want to contact former guests or members who were with you previously and left. One of the ways that Active Minds managed to bring our membership up to 20 near the end of the last term was by contacting former members, because now we're online and we had people who left the country and so they stopped coming to the club. But since we've been online, we had several of them join back up again very happily. So you want to be able to keep them in the loop. And also you want to check on members who have not been attending. And again, as long as you have your Excel sheets and you're keeping track of these things, then it's not that difficult to do, to figure out who's missing and who's coming and who's going, etc. Okay, so you're here at the club meeting. You want to greet everybody, the guests and the members. Don't forget the members. Okay, you can't focus completely on guests. You have to also focus on our current members, because that's how we retain them. Provide all the guests with information and answer any questions that they might have. So you might want to log in early, and if you have guests that are there early, you can talk to them about any questions they have, or you may do so afterwards and have an afterward time of chatting and question and answer. Or you may just want to do it privately, where they give you their contact information and you are talking to them about it. Then after club meetings, we want to meet with those guests, whether it's virtual or in person, invite them to join the club, talk to them about the benefits that they can get from Toastmasters, help them complete that application, and connect them to the treasurer for payment. All right, to make it an easy process. We want this to be as easy as possible for them. Think about things that you want to get to purchase, right? You don't want to have it be such a difficult process. If it's so difficult to buy something, are you actually going to buy it? Probably not, right? If you have all these troubles in getting a service, probably you're just going to cancel it. So we want to make that process nice and smooth so they can feel that we are a club that has things organized and we can actually deliver what we're saying we can deliver to them, right? With this learning process. Once you have that application, then you go ahead and submit it to Toastmasters International. You put in their name and their contact information and all of that, and you submit that. Then you notify the treasurer, okay, I have submitted this online for the member, and now you need to contact them to get their payment, okay? And let the person know who this treasurer is, right? I always, send their contact information. I send the person who's going to become a new member, I send them the treasurer's contact information, and I send the contact information of the new person to the treasurer to make sure that both of them are in the loop. All right, so now outside of the club meeting, we want to create and conduct club membership building programs. What are some club membership building programs? What do you know? What do you think we can do? Anybody?
Committees?
Craft? I think
No.
speechcraft.
Pardon me?
Craft.
Speechcraft, yes. We can do speechcraft. What else can we do? This is to build up our membership. We can have speechcraft. We can have an open house. We can create a youth leadership program. Right? We can also have like a special event. Maybe you want to have a table topics demonstration in a public place that would bring people in to, say, hey, what the heck are they doing over there? That looks interesting. Let me find out about it. All right. All kinds of things that you can do. Bring in maybe a special speaker. Okay, I brought in a special speaker for my open house, and I had 3 people join from that open house, and we had a lot of attendance. You just never know who it's going to reach out to. All right, so you also want to promote the membership goals and the membership building contest, which we already talked about. So in those, we have the Club Growth Director Awards, some of which you just saw, and you were, I'm sorry, I can't remember who talked to me about it, but there are, for example, there are awards for people who sponsor a member. If a club member brings a guest to the club and they join, then that club member sponsors that person. And if you sponsor 3 people, you get one kind of an award. It's like a pin, which is nice, at DTAC. And if you bring in 6 or 5 or however many, they have several different ones. You need to check out the CGD awards. They've got a lot of incentives to encourage people to bring guests. So you get a nice little Toastmaster pin for it. There are also the Toastmaster International Awards, like the Beat the Clock and Smedley. Then we want to focus on follow-up and keeping track of the guests. Also, you want to make sure that you either bring a physical membership application to people, or you send them a PDF, a writable PDF of the application. And you want to assist the Vice President of Public Relations in letting them know this is our new member and we would like to spotlight this person. Could you make a flyer for this new member? You know, we're happy to have you join our club, these kinds of things. We also want to make sure that the meeting information is correct. If we have an induction that we need to do for new members, we need to make sure that we inform the president and the vice president education to make space in the meeting time for us, and attend the club executive committee meetings. All right, you also need to prepare membership reports. This is primarily for the executive meetings, club executive meetings, but also if you are doing during the business session, like our club does it once a month, we report to the members how many members we have, how many new members we got recently, these kinds of things, okay? And you need to attend and vote at the area council meetings. The vice president membership, the vice president education, and the president. These three club officers are all part of the area council, and you have a vote in the area council. So your area director may call the area meetings, the area council meetings, and you are supposed to attend, okay? And also a very, very important thing that you need to do is to prepare your successor for office, okay? Who is going to take over after you're done? You want to try and get a committee going. And as you have, if you have a committee for membership, then you can train your successor as you are going along. And if not, keep your eye out for members who you think would be good at taking over after you're done. All right, in the executive committee meeting, timer, what's my time at, please? Hello, Ruchika, Toastmaster Ruchika?
Yes, ma'am. Now 36 minutes.
36, great, thank you very much.
Yes.
All right, I'm just trying to gauge where I'm at here. All right, so during the executive committee meeting, what do? You want to organize membership contests. It's not something that you need to do on your own. Your VPPR needs to publicize those things, make flyers, help you with that. The vice president education or the VPPR can help you with creating the agendas for things like your open house or speechcraft, whatever it is that you are doing to try to bring in members. You also need to report to the president and the executive committee about your membership, what's happening with a prospective member, or what's happening with members who aren't showing up, all of the things, the information that you are gathering in your Excel sheets about prospective members and current members, all right? Letting them know what is happening with the membership, because you play a vital role in the club. You also should schedule membership building programs and talk to the executive committee, the president. Where can you put things in a calendar, the club calendar? What will work out? Because you're not the only one that's scheduling things for the club, right? You're part of a team, and therefore you need to plan ahead and think about when would be a good time to do this. We always look at months that have like a fifth. We meet on Thursdays, so a club that has, you know, a month that has a fifth Thursday, But whatever the day of your club is, you know, you can look at certain months that have that extra day. And those are great for doing things like open houses and speechcraft, these kinds of things. Okay, so how do we actually fulfill our responsibilities? We're going to talk about how you can do it, when, who, and what. So we need to complete an action plan. How many of you have worked with the president to write out your information about the club success plan? Have you done that? To decide how many new members you are focusing on for the end of term? How many should you have at the end of term? What is going to be your new base? So let's say you started at 20. Maybe you want to be conservative and say you want to have 25 members by the end of this term, which is June 30th, 2022, right? Or maybe you want to go for the gusto and say, I want to have 10 new members. Okay, that means retaining and gaining. Okay. All right. If you have not done this yet, then please do. It's in the club leadership handbook. I want you to look at it. And it talks about coming up with 2 main goals for the term, the whole year, the whole Toastmaster year. And then what are you going to do to make those happen, right? You want a short-term action plan and a long-term action plan. Okay, so for myself, I had 2 different goals. One was to have 2 different open houses, one that we already completed and another one which is going to happen before the March renewal deadline. Okay, and then I talked about who is going to be there. How will I do that? When am I going to have this? Who is available to help me? All right, I brought in the president and I brought in the VP Education and the VP PR, right? They were helping me with the open house. And I also brought in a couple of other members that were interested in helping and some that could do presentations. And what materials and resources can you use? There are so many on Toastmaster International. It's unbelievable how much is there. I'm still looking. And every time I look, I'm like, oh, wow, I hadn't seen that one before. And I find something new. Okay. Going on to the resources. You can do what you're doing right now, which is attending the club officer training program. How many are there in a year? Who knows? How many club officer training programs do we have to attend each year as an officer? 2, yes. And each one has a makeup like this one. Okay, so there are 2. The second one is in December, somewhere around there. Okay, and then there is so much material on the Toastmasters International website for you to read. You want to meet with your outgoing executive committee if you haven't already. Meet with the outgoing vice president of membership. Meet with the current executive committee and talk about things that you can do and talk to other VPMs. It's one of the things we're going to do today. All right. Also, you can invite 1 to 3 members to serve on your membership committee. Watching guests and that attend the meetings and keeping up with new members and doing all of this, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And it may be a lot for one person to do. It's a lot for me to do. And so I have brought in 2 people to my committee, and I'm thinking of adding another one because we want to be able to meet the needs of our club members without killing ourselves in the process, right? And then you can conduct a membership survey on Moments of Truth. And you can send out a member interest survey to your members to find out what are their goals and create a welcome kit for your guests, either physical or digital. And you can order any materials that you want. If you want to order special pins for new members, or you want to order ribbons or things like that, plan ahead. Order those for the term. And there are a ton of resources. Now, I have a link I want to send you. Okay. I have a brainstorming session and I'm going to share that with you. You can go ahead and click on the link and you should end up here. Okay. So please, I want you to put your heads together and you can unmute yourself and talk about things too. What you're going to do, you're just going to put your name here. And you're going to put your club. And then think about 2 ways that you can attract prospective members to your club. What are some things you can do? Let's try to think out of the box, and I will share this document with you so that all of the ideas that are coming out, you can also get that and you will be able to, you know, say, what am I going to do? Oh yeah, that's right. I remember during this, during DTM Sandy's thing, we did this whole brainstorming thing. The idea of a brainstorming is that you do not rule out any ideas, okay? You just go ahead and write down as many ideas as you can think of. And afterwards, then we're going to go back and we're going to look at which ones do you think are the best. So just go ahead, choose any line. We can all type on this document at the same time. Go ahead and write your name and what club you're in. Right here on all of these lines, I've got way more than we have here in this group, so don't worry about it. And that way you will be writing your information on your line. Okay, I do this with my classes all the time. And you can all write at the same time. Then I want you to think about 2 ways to attract prospective members to your club and 2 ways to retain current members. All right. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes, and I just want you to write down all your ideas that you can think of. Okay? Don't worry about whether it sounds stupid or not stupid. We're not evaluating them at first. Okay? We're only thinking. You can't edit. You should be able to edit. Let me double check.
I think we need to sign in to edit.
Yeah, you're right. No, you don't. Hang on. My bad.
You have to provide edit access, then only I can edit it.
There we go. All right. Click on it again. Now you should be able to edit. Yes? Yay! Okay. Great. So we can just chillax and write down our ideas for 5 minutes. So let's just focus on these things for 5 minutes and see what we can come up with. And again, just go wild with your ideas. We are all struggling with membership, and membership is key to keeping our clubs afloat. So what can we do for it? How can we improve this? And these ideas will help us. Now we can do that as we are listening to this relaxing music. I just realized I said only 2, but go for it. Put as many as you want. What's happening? I want to hear from everybody. there you go. Good. Talk to your colleagues. Speechcraft, ILP, open house. An open house is going to help you with new members, but not really with retaining current members. Thank you, Noor. Brother Khalid, go ahead, write your ideas here. Did you get the link? Make sure you have the link, and please share your ideas. The idea is to just write down as many ideas as you think about. The whole thing with the brainstorming is that there are no wrong answers here. Anything, you know, maybe old special events. People in here, and only 5 of us are writing. I would like everybody to write, please. Thank you, Anil. Ooh, fun, a costume party, nice. I invite everyone for lunch at the club's expense. That's cool. As long as you've got the budget for it, go for it. Oh, nice. Share the video of your meetings with friends to encourage them to join. If your club has like a YouTube channel or you live stream on Facebook, you can send people those links.
DTM Sandy, we are requested to wrap up and join them in the main room. Okay.
Sorry, say that again, please.
We are requested to wrap up our session and join them in the main room. So if you need to conclude, please.
All right, just very quickly, let me share with you another document. Okay, this document I have put together so many links that can help you as a VPM to do whatever, to find out different ways you can learn more information, links for prospective guests, link for new members, all these things. Okay, do you guys have questions? Nope. If you have questions, please feel free to go ahead and, oops. Go ahead and email me. That's my email. You are welcome to give me a message and let me know if you have more questions. All right. Sorry, we kind of ran over time.
No, you've done a great
Okie
job.
dokie. I'm glad you enjoyed it and I hope this was helpful. All right, so we are going to go back to the main room. So you need to click on leave room and click